Sure. Yeah, my name's Jonathan Capps, and I'm finishing my thesis year, my MFA in the Department of Art. It's kind of a favorite story I like to tell my students. In taking a few art classes, it just so happened that this very small liberal arts school in central Kentucky, it's Center College, had a great glass program. A great art program, just very small. So I took a few classes, and really the rest is kind of history. OSU has a really great long-standing glass program, but we're kind of married to sculpture out here too, and that is I think really significant and enriching. And allows you to really question the material, and I think that that's incredibly important to glass artists, because one thing that we're constantly, I don't know if battling against is the right word, but in the art world, glass is criticized a lot because I think of its inherent beauty, its inherent material qualities of glass, transparency, light. We act very reverent around it and things like that, and I think it gives it a certain amount of perceived value. For me, having had been very lucky to be around a lot of incredible glassblowers, work for a lot of incredible glass artists, learn a lot of technique leading up to the graduate experience, and so being married to a sculpture program that looks at materials very critically is, I think, a really important thing if you want to continue in glass, because it's for the past 3 years, when I'm in the glass world showing in galleries, nobody questions why I use glass. But here at school, they do, and so I have been questioned. And so that gives me the opportunity to take a step back and really have a critical experience with the material that I hadn't up until this point had a chance to do. That's a big vein in some of the thinking up to the thesis exhibition, was thinking critically about the material. You want to put it on a pedestal and light it and stand back, and I wanted to find a way to do something unexpected, from our traditional conditioning around glass and the way we're taught to think about it. I wanted to strip all that away for this show and look at really the essence of the material that captures me and its relationship to light and the physical experience of the process. And so I wanted to take the most simple thing that a glassblower could do, and that's literally, have a breath, blow a bubble, then use that simple act and elevate it. The first piece I painted is actually behind you. It's the Golden Goblet. And that's a very traditional Venetian style goblet, using, for the most part, purely Venetian technique. And I wanted to play on highbrow, lowbrow. Yeah. So you have these very Venetian-y goblets that speak to class and socioeconomics and things like that, the wealthy, the bourgeois, and then you paint it gold, or it's gold, and that even elevates it to the next, even more. But then the fact that it's spray painted, first of all, availability of material, highbrow, lowbrow, it's spray paint, and then also, does it devalue the piece? Does it elevate the piece? And so that's the first time I introduced paint to glass, and it was hard to paint glass. Up until that point, I was so conditioned to celebrate it, and so to paint on it, what is the gallery or the collector gonna, and of spray paint of all things, what is the gallery or collector gonna say about that?
Well, that's another level of interacting with the history of glass, right?
Yeah.
It's instead of it being formal, it's becoming conceptual,
and that's yet another layer to the segue into the thesis work, where I, in the end, ended up piling and pouring 40 gallons of interior latex house paint onto it, which we could go on and on about